Welcome to the K Plus J Living Podcast,
where we talk about designing a meaningful home, better health, and more happiness.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 17 of the K Plus J Living Podcast. I am one of the hosts. I am the K part of the K Plus J. My name is Casey, and I'm with my beautiful bride.
I'm here, Jennifer.
Hey, and this week we're going to be talking about the topic of you're not busy, you're wasting time. What do we mean by that? When we talk about you're not busy, you're wasting time. And the other thing that's cool about this is we are recording this also via YouTube. We're sitting here chit-chatting in our store/studio, which we call the...
Stordio,
because it's a photography studio, but it's also a store. And I kept saying store, and then I'd say studio, and store, and then studio, and then finally we just said it's a Stordio. So there you go. If you're wondering what we're opening, September 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're opening a Stordio. So.
But I had my first session today, so the studio was functioning this morning.
Oh. So, yeah. Okay, I was just trying to figure out if that's the right way. Is it store before studio if you had the studio before the store? It's like the chicken before the egg type conversation.
Still a Stordio.
Yeah. So, hey, here's what we're talking about. When we're talking about you're too busy, you're not too busy, you're wasting time. Here's what we mean by that. Is everyone, all of us, have the same amount of time to accomplish what we want to. We really do. We all have 24 hours in a day. In fact, 24 hours in a day, we have 365 days in a year, yada, yada, yada. You know, if we all have the same amount of time, why do we say things like this? We all say things like this, but I'm too busy or I don't have enough time. We talk about that. We hear people say that all the time. But really, if we really boil it down, is we all have the same amount of time. If we all have the same amount of time, why do we make statements like this? Because I think a lot of the times, because we're so wrapped up in so many things that actually take us away from accomplishing the things that we actually want to accomplish, so we end up actually wasting time. So we spend a lot of our time trolling social media, watching Netflix, TV, Hulu, cable, surfing the web, or simply choosing to do other things instead of what we know we should be doing at work or at home. Now, sometimes we need to just be trolling social media. We need to just be on Netflix. We need to be playing... Here's the thing. I'm trying to speak to things that I don't know anything about. Candy Crush or other games. What other games do we play? I say we, but...
Design Home, I think, is the one I like.
Oh, of course. Design Home is the other game. But really, there's nothing wrong with playing Design Home. I think. I would never play Design Home.
You would be good at it, though.
Well, hey, you know, but you could also... I could be good at it, but I could be wasting time at the same time. But... what we mean in this episode is we're really talking about prioritizing our day around the things that matter the most, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing activities like we listed above. The key is being intentional as to when and how long we spend time doing them, because we can become totally lost, that social media, Netflix, TV... all these things can become...
It's an escape.
Exactly. That's right where I was going. Look at that. It's like we're married and like we think alike.
It's amazing.
That was my mind being blown right there. If you're on YouTube, you just saw that happen live. Sort of live, if you're watching the video. But, so, we need to understand how we spend our time, how we spend our day. And I believe that a lot of the stress that we carry in our life has to do with how we spend our time. Because if we're procrastinating, if we're trying to avoid, if we're trying to escape, then really what we're doing is we're avoiding dealing with the hard things. Like we're on this, like I was talking to Dominic Esposito. So Dominic Esposito is, we call him Dom. It is my oldest daughter's boyfriend.
We've already had this problem on this once where we said, how do we put it? We put it wrong.
Their oldest daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah, but how did I say it that sounded like it was my boyfriend? I forget.
I don't know.
I guess you have to go back to our vacation episode. I goofed.
I guess. But if you're wondering who Jennifer's boyfriend is, it's me. So Dominic Esposito and I, Dom is working with me while he's home from college. He's getting ready to go back, which would be very sad. But we were getting ready to start another project for K plus J Living. We're remodeling a basement for this family. And I said, hey, we need to eat that frog first. And he's like, what do you mean by eat that frog? You know? And I just mentioned it, and then I kind of went on. I didn't really explain it. I don't even know if he completely heard me, actually. But so what we mean is, you know, no one wants to eat a frog, right? Who? Somebody might like frog legs, but eating the frog, here's what that means. It's a Brian Tracy idea. If you don't know Brian Tracy, he's a wonderful author, great leadership guru, speaker. I've read almost all of his books. But what he's talking about when he says eat that frog is this concept, is that you tackle the difficult things first in your day, and then the rest of the day kind of goes easier. So for us, this large ceiling that we were working on was our frog for the day. So that's kind of the way that I look at life when it comes to not wasting time. And when I use words like, oh, I'm so busy, I try not to even use the word I'm so busy. Because for me, it's not that I'm busy, it's just how I'm choosing to prioritize my day. And to me, I'm going to try to eat those frogs first thing in the morning. I want to do the difficult things first and tackle the hard things when I have the most energy and I'm most ready to go. But with that, I think this is where procrastination comes in. This is where... What are you going? Oh!
What's wrong with you? We don't even have Nora to interrupt
It's
us,
been a couple
and now
podcasts
it's you. Yeah.
Since I've yawned. I had a long day.
All
I should
right.
just be playing Design Home right now.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. So, but really what we're trying to dial this in is I'm tired from working all day, not from procrastinating. But when we're talking about procrastinating, we're talking about pushing off the things that we need to accomplish in order to try to alleviate stress in our life. But when we spend time trolling social media, watching TV, watching Netflix, doing all these things, and really avoiding the things that we need to get done, it actually adds more stress to our life than just dealing with the things and getting things done. And I specifically use the words getting things done because Jennifer knows where I'm going with this. Getting Things Done is one of my favorite books. I've read it probably over 20-something times. It is fantastic, and it's Getting Things Done by David Allen. But really, what this is talking about is how to prioritize your life. That we can actually admit and be honest with ourselves that we're not too busy. There's just areas where we're wasting time, and sometimes it's okay to waste time. This is kind of one of the crux of this book. It's okay to waste time if you're being intentional and you know that that's part of your schedule is wasting time.
So, do I need to start putting Design Home like on my daily schedule?
I think let me throw that. Let me volley that ball right back at you, which is this: is if you feel that it is a stress reliever and it is not getting in the way of other things, then you're fine.
Oh, so how do you feel about people like me that procrastinate? And I don't know, like sometimes I feel like I procrastinate and I get things done better when I'm down to the wire. How do you feel about that?
So this will throw you a curveball right here. I'm the same way.
You are not.
I am.
You are not.
I am in a lot of ways because
No.
Here's the thing. I think there's a difference between procrastinating and knowing how much time something takes.
Ooh, so I'm just going to start saying that now.
Yeah, because I think there is a difference. Because
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing: a lot. It is scientifically proven that if you are under the gun, you a lot of times perform better.
Yeah.
And to me, I know what I can put off, what I can wait to do, because I know that I need X amount of dollars. It's just like a feeling or an urge that you get. You're like, okay, now it's time to flip the switch. So whether we say we're too busy, but so the bigger picture is, let's say you do wait to the last minute to get things done, Jennifer, and but you get them done.
I do.
Okay, which you do, and it's not. I'm not talking about shoddy work. It's excellent work. You get things done, and you get them done. So I wouldn't call it procrastination. Procrastination is when you're crippled by the fear of failing, and it causes you to waste time in order to avoid. So we're talking about avoiding the things. I don't think you avoid the difficult things. You just put them off until the last minute. There's a difference. It's not like you ignore them forever.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Well,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
good. That's great. I always thought I was a procrastinator. I'm just an excellent manager of my time.
Your time. Which I think is the first time that's ever been said publicly about your schedule. I'm kidding. But you do. You're a wonderful businesswoman. You do a wonderful job. And we just do those things differently. So one of the questions that we want to ask is, what are you doing in your life that is keeping you from being the most effective, the most efficient in your life? And are those things getting in the way of you being successful? So that's the question that only you can answer, is if there's things you're avoiding because you don't want to deal with them, you're not wanting to eat that frog, so to speak, then those are things that we need to say, okay, we're not busy, we're just wasting time. We're trying to avoid something. And so then the deeper underlying question is, why are we wasting that time? Why are we trying to avoid something? What is the fear? It's a lot easier here. If you're trying to write a book, it's a lot easier to go organize your office and make sure you have all the right software programs and learn the right software program than it is to just sit your butt in the chair and write the book. Because really, the undercurrent or the underlying thing is you're scared that no one's going to want to read what you have to write, or and if you're reading. So you see all these underlying things, or maybe it's you're wanting to launch a podcast or whatever. You're like, oh, no one's going to want to hear what I have to say. That's the underlying fear. But let me tell you something about what causes us to waste time and avoid the difficult things is this thing called fear, or the fear of what other people think. But here's the thing. That never goes away. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. The fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of just doubt and thinking you're not good enough, thinking that you're a fraud, thinking that those thoughts that go through your head and my head and everybody else's head and every executive, successful CEO, those thoughts never go away, because here's the big kicker: is we're all human and we want to be loved and accepted and valued. So when you're creative and you want to do something and you want to put something out there, I want to encourage you to stop wasting time, stop saying you're too busy to accomplish it, and just get it out there. And just put it out there, because it's something it's in you that you have to give to the world. And if you give that to the world and 2 people appreciate it, that is awesome. Because we can't give our creativity to the world and expect the whole world to love it, because that's just not the way it is. But don't live your life in fear to where you get to be 90 years old and you're excellent at design home, but you've never taken the chance and done those things inside of you. One of the things with Jennifer and I is we put ourselves out there. We put our creativity out there. We put our pictures out there. We put our construction out there. We put our music out there. We put our life coaching things and ways that we want to help people. We put those things out there because we believe that those are things that God's given us to add value to other people's lives. It doesn't mean that we are the most successful at that. It doesn't mean that we have all the answers. It doesn't mean that we have life figured out. It's just our way to help humanity and contribute to society and maybe add value to someone's life in some small way, and be able to lay our heads on the pillow at night and say, well, we helped so-and-so, or so-and-so move their life 3 steps forward, or we captured these great pictures, Jennifer, for this family. And we know they're really going through a difficult time. And that's going to be a memory and a legacy that lasts forever. So I just want to encourage you to stop with the excuses. Stop with the procrastination. Stop with saying you're too busy. Stop with the trolling hours of social media and comparing yourself to other people.
There you go.
What do you think of that?
That was really good.
Yeah? I kind of got on a rant there.
You did. It was really good. I didn't have anything to add to that other than to say sometimes I'm afraid of doing the dishes. So I buy plants and things on my design home
Yes.
because the dishes are so scary.
I don't think you're actually afraid of dishes.
I am. When I was little, I would cry because the food would touch my hands and it would float in there. I still have a fear.
She still does that. She still cries. No, she doesn't.
Just about.
Yeah. So, anyways, folks, be encouraged. Be encouraged. Go for your dreams. And here's the thing. Going for your dreams doesn't mean quitting your day job. It doesn't mean abandoning everything you've ever done. It's just start the side hustle. Start the little thing. It doesn't even have to be about money. It could just be, hey, I want to go start doing this because I love to do this. I love to make...
Macrame.
What is macrame?
Google it.
Macrame. It sounds like ballet and Macklemore
It's not what
combined together. It's amazing. Macklemore doing ballet would be awesome. Macrame, whatever that is, I don't even know what that is.
I'll Google it for you and show you a picture while you finish up.
Okay, but we just want to encourage you with that because life is way too short to not be who God made you to be and to be genuine and to put yourself out there and have fun with it. So, anyways, you're not too busy. You're wasting time. Oh, Jennifer just pulled up macrame.
No, macrame.
Macrame. It's like
They're
woven...
those like 60s wall hangings, but here's the thing. They are coming back big time.
Guess
They're
who's
all
back?
over the place.
Back again.
Because this is the new global boho chic look that's coming back.
Okay.
I hate them, but I have to be very... I feel bad saying that because they're very popular right now, but I just can't. They look very 60s and 70s to me.
There we go.
Very hippie.
Okay. So
Lot of
macrame
yarn.
is very hippie yarn.
Woven.
But, if that's your thing, don't hide it for the rest of the world. Put it out there. See,
because it's back in style.
Jennifer may not like it, but that doesn't mean that hundreds of other people may not may actually like it.
Maybe like 10 other people, but it is coming back.
All right, folks. You're not too busy. You're wasting time. It's time to get on with your life and do the things that add value to you and to other people, and to stop allowing fear to cripple you and those lies in your head because they never go away. So punch fear in the face. Okay? Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.